Star Report. I'm your host, Star. It is Tuesday evening. Welcome to the show. Hey, salute to the check-in report. He called in last night and he put me up on black fatigue. And I did a little research today, not much. And I want to have a discussion this evening with you guys. And we're going to focus on the showrunner. Just bear with me. But black fatigue. A book came out in 2020. September, to be precise, 2020, Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit. Mary Frances Winters. I never heard of this book, and I'm not sure if some of you have heard of it or, when it first came out, but it's picked up some traction now. However, the book had a totally different meaning from what I'm gathering black fatigue means now. It appears that other cultures, hint, 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 have taken this term in similar fashion how they took, woke. And now that's a bad thing to be considered woke, Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong. I just started the research today. But black fatigue, all right? So I want to have this discussion. The title, Black Fatigue and How It Affects Other Communities. I think that's an appropriate title because sadly, people of color, black, if you will, and I know that black people are not a monolith, but you're so concerned about how you're perceived by other cultures. I don't care whether you're FBA, ADOS, African, whatever. You're concerned about how other people perceive you. I think that's a bad thing. Let me say earlier, I don't like the term black fatigue. I don't like it. The newer term. The older term, again, it meant something totally different with regards to the book from 2020. I don't like the fact that, once again, a label has been placed on black people. I don't like that. If you are a person who is melanated, you cannot go into Caucasian chat rooms, websites, or what have you, and comment on their cultures, right? No, you can't. You'll be told it doesn't really concern you. It's our thing. I mean, they'll find every other word to exclude you. You can't go there. However, you certainly do. For those of you who are melanated and you're concerned about how others perceive you, you will let people come into your culture. You will even celebrate them when they mimic black culture or when they do certain things. I don't know, to act black, as we used to call it back in the days. Now it's one big pile of gumbo. I don't know. But I don't like the term black fatigue. However, we did a show maybe 3 years ago. I have all of my shows in chronological order, so I can always reference when we spoke about something. And I do remember we did a show about being nigger free. Remember that? Troll babies, good evening. Nigger free. Meaning devoid of ignorant black people. Oh, yeah. I even wrote in one of my books, I've written a few books. One of my books, Objective Hate, the prequel, I wrote about a black Armageddon between black folks and, black undesirables. So I cannot say that I'm not tired of the undesirables, the lower class, the proud to be ignorant. Yes, we have a lot of people that are proud to be ignorant, and the internet just magnifies it, if you ask me. What used to be considered keeping it real now is just standard behavior. Standard behavior. You've got women, and I'm not just zoning in on women, but women are supposed to be the primary nurturers, of the children. They now aspire to be OnlyFans models, if you will. Escorting is a common thing now. Yeah, escorting, getting flued out. That's common behavior now. It's prostitution. The older term is prostitution. The newer term is escorting. So we've literally, if you ask me, society, we've lost. What did I used to say? We've lost our common thread of decency. Now, let me just say this also. David D. Cordova. David, are you out there? Do you want to chime in early? Because David from today's Religious Talk, he said something that really rang true. He and I were emailing earlier, and he said that, people are now finding every way, I'm paraphrasing, every way to target blacks once again. But how many years was the Jerry Springer show on television? Troll babies. How many years did Jerry Springer show us low-class white people, inbreds, all sorts of backwoods, lowlifes, and white degenerates? So that's my main topic here this evening, okay? Black fatigue and how it affects other communities. And check-in report, if you're out there, being that you're the one who put me onto this, if you want to cam up or call in, let me know. The check-in report, okay? And I think David, you want to cam up? Let's kick this thing off, man, early. Okay, I just sent you the link, David D. Cordova. Now, let's get to the Knicks. Over the decades, I've called them the bum-ass Knicks. Yes, I have. I've gone to multiple New York Knicks games, I know over two dozen in my lifetime. And I don't hate the Knicks. I'm really I'm bothered by the fact that, the Knicks have not won a championship since the 1972-73 season. I'm bothered by that, again, because it's the number one market. They have the money. They should spend the money and other things to get the championship. That's all it's about. Championship. You can't live off of vapor trails forever. I'm tired of hearing about the Knicks from the 90s. Salute to them. John Starks, Oakley, Mason, Patrick Ewing, and a host of others. I would like to see a championship. And I can't figure out why. I mean, we've had multiple discussions, but is it ownership? Is it management? I tend to think it's more so the owner, right? Owner's family, and what they perceive a New Yorker to be, or a New York fan, pardon me, what they perceive a New York fan to be. I really couldn't stand the Carmelo Anthony years. I really couldn't. Never met the guy. I don't hate him. I just always felt that he was a volume shooter. Played no defense. I was really pissed when they got rid of Phil Jackson. I was pissed. I wanted to see him move Carmelo out and bring in some younger players and build the team and build it with that. The triangle offense. Why not? He's a proven winner. Anyway, so I don't know what the reason is for the Knicks now losing Game 4 tonight. Just happened a little while ago. Let me say, I think they've got some good players. Matter of fact, give me a second. Let me pull up the names of the players because I'm watching. I know Jalen Brunson. There's a guy, I think his name is Hart. Where did he come from? He reminds me of Iman Shumpert. Is it Josh Hart? Where's he from, the small forward? Iman Shumpert, he never should have been a Knick. Now, he got a ring with the Cavaliers. Yes, no? Troll babies, he got a ring. I think that's the check-in report. If that's you, hey, man, there you go. Yeah, check-in report. Do you want to cam up? Send me an email if you do, sir, because I'm going to bring David D. Cordova on the screen. You put me onto this title yesterday, Black Fatigue. Check-in report. Thank you for your support. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns. I like Karl Anthony Towns, but as far as power forwards go, I don't think he's consistent. I just don't. I think Jalen Brunson is a superstar, but he needs other superstars with him. I got a question for you that maybe I've already asked myself, and it has already been answered. Why didn't the Knicks acquire or try to get LeBron James once upon a time to play with Carmelo Anthony? Can anyone explain that? Did he not want to come to New York? LeBron is a hoe. He'll go anywhere where he thinks he can get a ring. Why didn't that happen? Oh, and I'm sipping a little Cali red wine tonight, Snoop Dogg. Did they try to get LeBron? Agent KK says, okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm going too slow here. What did you say, Agent KK? Something about LeBron? Some guy did a live. Okay, no. Okay, I want to, babe. Let's focus on this. Come on. Why didn't LeBron come to the Knicks? That's all I want to know. Let me bring in David D. Cordova. David, are you there, sir? Good to see you.
Hey, Star. Good to see you.
Tuesday night, man. I'm relaxed. You and I were emailing earlier about this topic, black fatigue. You had some very good points. Let me get your information on the screen. Today's Religious Talk. Where do we start? The book that came out in 2020, or do you want to pick up from today's definition and meaning?
Yeah, I think that like the racist media, for some reason, they like to co-opt terms that come from the lexicon of the African American community. And it's a shame that they don't even have the decency to create their own terms to apply it to what they want to do is basically apply it to black behavior. Because I think the goal is to basically say that black people are demonstrating dysfunctional behavior, or they don't know how to conduct themselves properly in social settings. So what started out as a term to describe black suffering, the psychological, emotional trauma that black people endure on a day-to-day basis due to microaggressions and social stigma and various ills that we face in all spheres of society. So I'm so thankful for this term. I commend this lady for her work, for her book, because it has tremendous significance, because she's talking about how it can affect health and how it can take a toll on people's health, because they have to deal with this day-to-day, all these things that create stress.
But hang on, David. The book has been overshadowed, if you will, by the newer term black fatigue. Yes, I mean, the book came out in 2020, somewhere around the pandemic, and I didn't hear about it. I'm a reader, and I'm just now getting up to speed on it now. And what it means now, black fatigue, is a negative thing. It's like saying, other groups and or cultures, are tired of black behavior, as you said. Can we focus on that?
Yeah, because they put a spin on it and they twisted it to serve their agenda, to basically say that they're fatigued of black people. So it's about who's really exhausted here, right? Is it the victim or the victimizer? So it started out as saying, hey, we're under duress, we're under stress because of the psychological trauma that you put us through. And now you're taking that term and applied it to your sentiment of black dysfunctional behavior, when behavior is a byproduct of class. It has nothing to do with race. They wanna apply it to race to explain dysfunctional behavior.
David, who is they? Who is they? Because in today's world, we've got trolls, we've got black people who don't have to show their face, and they are some of the most vicious people on the internet. So who's they?
I would consider that's the racist media, or what some would call the ultra conservative, or what I see as the far right, I hear.
Okay.
So the same people that steal the terms, the African American colloquialisms like Karen, like woke, and then they incorporate it into their conversation.
So you're excluding black people who may have latched onto this term and who are proud to make videos to say, I've got black fatigue. I'm tired of niggers. You're excluding them I mean, they have a voice and they have influence now.
Well, I think they're under the illusion of inclusion and they're playing for the wrong team. So they need to reassess and get right, because they're a part of this too, because they're judged by the same standards.
Okay.
So how can you be fed up of something that applies to you? Because they're going to put that stigma on you.
Yeah, I mean, I want to approach this from a few different angles, not just, they. You're a smart man. You're from Canada. For those who don't know, this is David D. Cordova. His platform is Today's Religious Talk. Okay, so now with regards to some of the traction that's been picking up more so on TikTok, and I'm going to play a video. You made some good points when you sent me an email earlier. You said you didn't like the term, but what else is it that we need to really dig our heels into here?
I think the Black intellectuals need to rise up and push back against this term, because once again, the issue here is that labeling Black behavior as dysfunctional, because this is the problem. Because they always want to relate things to genetics, whether it's IQ, having a low IQ, or not knowing how to conduct yourself properly in the social world, in public settings. So if they are the racist media, if you will, far right wing extremists, whatever you want to call it, if they can apply this and say this is just how they are as a group of people because they got faulty genetics.
Okay, stay with me for a second. I'm going to bring in my friend Gene Richmond. He and I were texting. Number 9, are you there, sir, on a Tuesday night?
I am here, and good evening.
Good evening. I have David D. Cordova on the screen with me. Black fatigue and how it affects other communities. I'm sure you've got some very spirited comments. David keeps saying they. I don't know. What say you, Gene Richmond?
Well, I think from what I understand, the they that Mr. Cordova is talking about would be white America, so-called white America, and then people who are non-Black. But I will say to this, I don't think that it is something that is using as an oppressive form of language. I believe that the so-called Black fatigue that is being used now as a pejorative amongst the far right and people who are on the internet who are non-Black is a fallout to unruly Black behavior. Now, you can go on any social media platform like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever it is, and you can find videos of Blacks rioting, causing chaos in malls and Burger Kings and restaurants and nightclubs, and then these clips are posted all over the media, and then they're in these so-called white chat rooms and circles, and they created the term fatigue. I actually first heard that term by Richard Spencer, who was the face of the alt-right movement about 10 years ago. Spencer used that term months ago, and then Nick Fuentes would later pick it up, months later and use it on his platform, like I said. So it was really expanded on by the far right. But again, there is a Black fatigue. I mean, in the dichotomy of things, there's a Black fatigue amongst Blacks. Yeah. And I think Blacks have become at their worst nature now in today's modern society. They're out of control, especially, Black people between the ages of 14 and 35. In every major city all over the United States, you can find unruly Black behavior, and white Americans primarily are sick of it.
Yeah. If I can jump in for a second, Gene Richmond, there's some things that, have to be kept amongst, each culture, So I've already said I don't like the term itself, but there is a reality that we see young Black boys. The literacy rate is way out of hand. There appears to be, correct me if I'm wrong, a growing number of contentious Black women when they get pulled over by police. They don't want to roll the window down. Well, why are you stopping me? They're on the phone. They can't get off the phone. Is that me? Is that me? What is that?
Oh, It's not you. You're watching the reality unfold right before your eyes. They say the internet and the digital information highway is gift and a curse, but it's also a great revealer. And it's revealed the worst of Black society, especially in our modern society. I saw a Black man get shot by a police officer that just pulled her over for a broken tail light, and it turned into a shooting because she went ballistic. All he wanted to do was give her a citation. She was screaming and hollering and assaulted him.
Let me guess. He touched her, and she said, "Don't touch me." Let me guess.
Don't touch me. And this Black man, this big Black Aunt Jemima Mary lost her life. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. But again, it's the level of indecency amongst Black people. Black people are out of control, and America is sick of it. Young Black men, young Black women, older Black men, older Black women. I don't think it really even matters anymore. Black folks are out of control, and now they're on the biggest stage of it all, and it's called the internet. It's called social media, and Black fatigue now is a trend on these social media platforms among non-Black people.
Okay. If I can, David, I want to throw you a curveball here. And David, you're from Canada, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think, and I'm just giving you a little, pushback here, do you think that this new Black fatigue, trending discussion, if you will, is a distraction from reparations?
It could be. It could be. But reparations is something I don't think that African Americans will ever get reparations.
Okay.
So I don't even think they need
But
to.
you're from Canada, so it's not really a priority for you.
Yeah.
But I'm just asking. Hold on a second. I think this is hey, 917, is that the check-in report? Check-in report?
Nah, Star, this ain't the check-in report.
Okay. Can you hold on a second? Stay right there, sir. I thought that was him because he gave me the idea for this topic. Okay, Dave, let's go back to you, man. Let's pick up the pace here because you sent me some emails. You had a lot to say, email-wise.
Well, I think our friend here is diagnosing the symptoms and not the disease. He's not addressing the root cause.
Come on.
If a people are acting dysfunctional or crazy, you got to find out why. Have you ever thought to ask what's causing the Black youth to act rebellious and crazy? And you talk about rioting. Rioting occurs after the sporting games. I'm sure tonight the Knicks lost, so maybe they'll go crazy tonight too. So
okay,
yeah. So I just want to know if you're still on the line, why are you so adverse to Black people? Why not examine and explore the reason, the rationale behind this behavior? If a child acts up and throws a temper tantrum, they say, oh, maybe he's not getting attention or he's lacking love, or they psychologically examine the kid to see why is he behaving like that. What about Black America, Black people in general, that we have to deal with these things on a regular basis, on a daily basis? Maybe that's driving everyone crazy.
Okay. So you're saying get to the root of the problem and what? More programs? What then?
Well, because I just believe people like this, it's a surface level conversation. They're so quick to just point out Black dysfunction, Black people acting up, they're going crazy. But why? What's the root cause? Where's your root cause?
That's what we're here to discuss tonight. Sit tight for a second. Area code 917, are you there? Good evening.
Peace, Star.
Peace. How are you? Who's this?
Lex.
Okay, how are you, sir? We're talking about Black fatigue and how it affects other communities. Are you up to speed, or you want to talk about the Knicks losing game 4 earlier?
No, I don't want to talk about the bum ass Knicks.
Okay.
But I think just from a simple numbers standpoint, it's impossible to say Black fatigue. We only account for about 15% of the country.
Okay.
What they do is they push the worst of us to the forefront using social media to create this image that it's Black people out of control. Like number 9 pointed out, you could go on social media and see that. You can go to other races and see that as well. It's just that they put us to the forefront.
Can I ask, how old are you?
35.
Okay. I'm old enough to know that once upon a time, that's how your major networks designed the news at dinner time, when people used to eat together, families, and they would look at, the degenerates, 6 o'clock news and 11 o'clock news before you go to bed and stuff like that. But now,
It was propaganda.
yeah, it was propaganda then. But now Black people have access to social media and the internet, and they are promoting the ignorance and the bullshit. Is that fair to say?
Well, I think everybody promotes the bullshit.
Okay.
Just for a fact, melanated people pretty much create the culture that exists in this country.
Okay.
So even if we do promote the bullshit, we got to worry about the 60% of whites that are also going to follow tail.
Okay.
Why are we talking about the minority? We're still the minority in this country. We can't talk like we actually run something. Yeah, you got a couple crazy on the internet, but that doesn't make up the majority of us.
I'm not saying you're
Again,
wrong.
I'm just talking mathematically. Just
Okay.
what people are trying to promote, just by the numbers, it cannot exist.
Okay. Number 9, do you want to chime in? This man's bringing a point to the table. Who's number 9?
Well, first of all, it's like this. I'm not black. Let's just end this right here. I'm not black. I'm an American. I'm not black. So I don't want to be pigeonholed in this box. I'm not black. I'm not black. And I'm not
Number
black.
9, it sounds like you're in a tunnel, man. Number 9, can you make the adjustments? It sounds bad. The headset, whatever you're on.
While he making the adjustments, see, that's the problem.
Sir, can you let him speak? Let him speak, sir. One at a time.
Okay.
Please, one at a time.
Is this better? Is this better?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right. As I said, I'm not black, and I'm not black like you. I'm an American, and I see things for what they are. Ever since post 1968 civil rights era elements, they've been using the excuses of race and poverty and the establishment and the government and poor white and white privilege attacking black people. This is not the problem. There's a problem in the black system as it is. There's a problem with the black psyche. There's a problem with black behavior. And we're seeing it now worse than ever. Now, I'm not foolish. Are there not black civilized people in America? Of course they are. Are there not black people who have accomplish great things and do great things in their communities? Absolutely. But the numbers are far greater that blacks are out of control. They're unruly and doing things that now are exposing them on a grander scale because of this information highway on the internet that we have. And that's the reality. And the fact that you guys won't face that and you guys are making excuses for black folks, well, it's racism, well, it's poverty, well, it's broken economic system, it's violence. You have to get down to the root cause, and the root cause is pathology, it's behavior, it's intellect, it's a lot of different things. So we have to call it what it is. The only way we can solve this problem is if we call it out for what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and behavior is influenced by circumstances.
Okay, David.
So the Bible says man will transgress for a slice of bread. So you'll revert to your primitive nature, and your survival instincts will kick in given the circumstances. But I just like to say, I would like to see you keep that same energy and attack the black entertainment industry, because I believe they're complicit in the overall destruction of the black image. So do you ever criticize the entertainment industry for perhaps promoting these negative stereotypes and narratives that affect black people globally, all over?
Can you be more specific, David? Are you talking about hip hop and rap music? Because earlier you and I were emailing about that. Yes? No?
Definitely. If number 9, like I said, right, I respect your energy, but do you have that same energy to take on the entertainment industry? Because they're complicit in this as well.
Well, again, why we feel, let's remove emotion from this. Again, I'm going to break it down by numbers.
Come on.
Over 55% of black men in this country is single and own close to 6 figures. You guys are choosing to focus on the rappers and athletes. Again.
Are you there, sir? Hello? Your call dropped out. Hello, you there? Are you there? 917, yes, no, maybe? Okay, he dropped out.
That's his black phone. That's his black phone.
Okay. Number 9, do you want to respond? And or should I bring in another caller? So I didn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna respond.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna respond. Again, we are using these anecdotes. We are using these excuses. The great Thomas Sowell, the great Thomas Sowell, black man, intellectual, conservative, great mind of America, has said the one way to solve the problem within black society in America is to revert back to character, revert back to the quality of an individual, what he does, his mindset, his intellect, his behavior, was to revert back to it, not to use excuses like racism in the media and the establishment and psychology and things of that nature. Character is what will bring a man and a woman to prominence.
Okay. There's a question on the screen for you, number 9. If you're not black but American, does that make the blacks you're referring to non-American? What's the difference?
Well, the reality is, I'm not black like you. You're trying to put me in a box. I'm not black like you.
Okay.
Now, you can see me as whatever you want to see me, but I'm not black like you in a spiritual sense, and a level of consciousness and a level of understanding. I'm not black like you because I'm not using racism as a crutch, and I'm not here promoting reparations and things like this. It's all nonsense. Who's going to pay the reparations for people who were never slaves? All of it is nonsense. All of it is nonsense, or slave owners. All of it is nonsense. So I am not black like you in a spiritual, in a level of awareness, a level of consciousness. I am not black like you.
I'm trying to achieve that same level of spirituality and consciousness, but I don't think it works down here.
Okay.
Well, you're a West Indian from Canada. Of course, it won't work. It won't work. We're just from different sides of this coin.
Shots fired. Hold on a second. Is that the Most High tapping in on a Tuesday night? Yes, no, maybe the Most High, area code 347. Give him a second. The Most High. I thought that was him. Let me bring another call here. Area code 303. Are you there? Good evening. Talking about a few topics. Black fatigue. Area code 3. I'm sorry. That's 201 now. Folks, are you there? Are you ready? 201. Yes, no. Please don't kill the vibe. 629. Are you ready? 629-201.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? What area code are you calling from, sir?
629.
Okay. You have the floor. We're talking about black fatigue and how it affects other communities. This is trending on TikTok and X. Are you at the speed? Black fatigue.
Yeah. I've been seeing that word, that phrase pop up a lot lately, and I'm just wondering, what's the difference when black people were acting so-called civilized and all that? What ended up happening then? What happened in towns like Tulsa and all that, where you had black communities that were thriving and had, doctors and lawyers and were running smooth? What happened? What happened then when we were acting so-called civilized?
St. Petersburg, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. Redwood. Exactly. List goes on.
Atlantic City. Yeah.
And they weren't too happy about that, were they? And they came and burned those places down. Correct.
Well, you also had hang on, if I can respond. You also had integration. A lot of black folk willingly went to work with white folks, and even to this day, they want to move and live amongst white folk, right?
Is it really them wanting to move and live amongst white folks, or they just want to live in nice areas? After World War II, soldiers were promised. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, good point. Come on, you have to.
Yes, there was a promised GI Bill that my grandfather and millions of other black men never got. That GI Bill was used by soldiers to come back from the war. That's where the suburbs came from. A lot of whites were poor and working factories, and they came back from war, and they used that GI Bill to go get educated. The college rate was like 69%, like veterans,
okay.
And they came back here and they built homes and all that. those black soldiers didn't get that GI Bill.
You're
So
right. You're
you
right.
had a poverty gap happen right then, and that became the suburbs or the white area. So what's wrong with black people wanting to live in a nice area? That's not it's the white area because the whites owned all the land and everything.
Right.
That's all it is.
You're right. I'm just trying to give you a little pushback so we can have a discussion here. Number 9, you want to chime in? This caller is calling from area code 629. Jim Richmond.
Well, I mean, you're talking about areas that were undesirable, and then blacks didn't want to live in them. But if you reference books like False Black Power by Jason Riley that talked about black equity prior to the 1960s, they talked about fundamentalist black ideas that people who lived in prosperous neighborhoods who were entrepreneurs. I mean, you can go back to clips in the early 1960s. You have blacks that lived in California, that lived in the Midwest, that were nervous about blacks from other regions of the United States coming into their communities, that they've established themselves, that were primarily black. They were well-to-do. You had people who were teachers, who were administrators, who did very well back in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. So this idea that blacks were just completely downtrodden and that they couldn't do for themselves is actually false. If you read the book,
I'm not saying that.
I don't think he said that. No, he didn't say that.
I'm not saying that at all. I grew up. My dad worked very hard, and I grew up very well off, and that's why I know what we're capable of.
Right.
A lot of it is to do with the black community and no unity between us, and that is a big part of the problem. But to act like that there's no, nothing that affected why we ended up where we are is just being, it's just ignoring that there's been, every time we've tried to push up, it's a push down. And that's just been.
If I can jump in, sir, you're saying some very, very powerful things here. Might you be close to my generation?
I'm 42.
Okay. I don't expect.
But I grew up in the 80s, and
okay.
That's another thing. A lot of people act like that we're so far removed from all of this and don't realize, like, they think things were all good after slavery ended. Jim Crow just ended less than 60 years ago. I'm 42. My mom went to a segregated school in Kentucky. So we're just hitting the ground is what people don't realize. Like, we had to start over a few times and run in place. So we're really just hitting the ground in the last, 2 or 3 generations.
Okay. Now, I was going to ask.
So I'm just wondering what people expect.
I was going to ask you, not that you have to agree with me. Do you think that hip hop culture and rap music plays any part? I mean, not that it wasn't
a huge part.
Yeah, bingo.
Huge part.
Not that it wasn't.
But
if
what?
I can just say this. Not that it wasn't a beautiful thing. When it first came out of the womb of New York, it was beautiful. I was there, but it's gotten really, really just chaotic. In the last 30 years.
Let me ask you this, Sar.
Go ahead.
How many of those black hip hop artists, how many of them are pushing their music out to the masses, or do they have label backings? Right, that's how their music gets out to. So who's picking what music is being put out?
Well, they're doing
and what kind of music is.
They're doing it a lot themselves. Themselves now. They have the platforms to put it out. They don't necessarily need that backing of the majors. So
what do we hear the most?
Bang bang.
They can put it out.
I'll be very direct. What do we hear the most? Bang bang, shoot 'em up, nigga dies slow.
Exactly.
Every female is a bitch. Not that I agree, but I'm just saying that's what we hear. But sir, go ahead and land your plane. We're getting a bunch of calls here. Take your time.
Yeah, that's all out. That's just it. I was just saying that, it just doesn't seem, that they want us to be docile, but the docile just never worked regardless. So it's just, I don't think that's, this black fragility thing or whatever, like, that's not on us. We, because they're going to look at us a certain way no matter what. Okay. That's just how I feel.
I appreciate
that's just how America's always been.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, guys, David D. Cordova is with me here, and number 9 is on the line. I'm not sure if the check-in report has time to call in, but he gave me this this story topic yesterday when he called in. Charlie, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in via Cash App. Star, Brunson is already a better Knick than Melo. So I would agree. He plays defense. I mean, I really want to kick the Knicks back in, but I haven't been watching all season. I still don't believe. I just don't believe that they lost tonight, guys. In case you don't know, Game 4. Did they get blown out? I think they got manhandled. Number 9, are you a basketball fan or no? I forget.
I haven't watched an NBA game in 8 years.
Okay. We're bringing every code.
I don't get off by a bunch of high price niggas.
Okay.
They're making $1 million dunking the ball.
Area code 347. Are you there? Good evening. 347. Yes, no, maybe.
Star, peace. Peace.
The Most High. How are you, sir?
Everything is everything.
Where do you want to start? The New York Knicks? I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying not to just call them trash and bums. They played hard. I just don't think the chemistry is there. I don't know why. Where do you want to go?
I agree. I don't think the chemistry is there the way it should be. And in all honesty, when you have two players who are, quote unquote, all-star caliber, even though being an all-star doesn't mean what it once meant, in my opinion. But when you have two players who are perennial all-stars, there's no way that they can't impose their will on the game every game and be consistent. So if you're calling Jalen Brunson a superstar, he's the star of the team, but a superstar. I know he was given the Clutch Player of the Year award and everything, but what about the other 44 minutes of the game? What are you doing? He gets in foul trouble too much, too many turnovers in inopportune times. You can't always rely on him to hit the big shot in the fourth quarter. There should be sustained excellence throughout the game, from the opening tip all the way to the final horn. The Knicks have not done that in the playoffs. It's not that I'm being overly critical. Okay. It is a fact. Every game against Detroit was close. They had to come back in some games against Detroit. Detroit was the 6th seed. They were not expected to be as good as they were. They end up testing the Knicks. Okay, understood. The Knicks prevail. They get to the next round. They go against Boston. They win the first 2 games. They have some good defensive plays to win the game on the road. That's excellent. They go home. All right, fine. Tatum gets hurt. That changes the whole complexion of the series. I'm saying all this to say, yes, they're in the conference finals, but they have not had sustained excellence throughout the playoffs. No consistency. Resilience, yes, but no consistency in the game plan. Very dumb fouls. Josh Hart, you got a lot of heart. Pardon the pun. He's scrappy, all that. Yeah. But he does some of the dumbest stuff you could think of on the court with some of them turnovers, some of the faces he makes. He throws himself all over the place, missing easy layups. So he's all over the place. He's a wild card in a good way and a bad way. So Karl Anthony Towns, he's out there doing what he's doing, in spurts or whatever, nothing sustained. You're not seeing Tim Duncan out there. No. You're not seeing Dirk Nowitzki out there. No. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks have a problem in terms of their 2 best players not being superstars on the biggest stage when it counts. Okay. So we can start there.
If I can jump in and check and report, set tight. So I see you behind the stage there. Check and report. Okay. I just don't believe in the Knicks. That's just me as an older guy. I don't see the multiple superstars. I'm saying Jalen Brunson's a superstar. He kind of reminded me of Kyrie Irving. Maybe that's a stretch when Kyrie played with the Cavaliers, but you would know better than me. So, Game 5, Madison Square Garden, Thursday night. The Most High? Yes, no?
No predictions. I gotta see it, man. I've been a Knicks fan since I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? I'm in my early 50s. I need to see it. Pause. I need to see it. Nah, for real. Pause. I need to see it.
You have to give us,
I need to see it.
The Most High. I don't mean to cut you. You have to give us a prediction, man. Come on, or else I'm just gonna sit here and straight hate. I'm trying to hear people out like yourself who have been watching all season. Game 5 in the Garden, please come on.
I mean, no, but again, I'm objective, and I'm smart enough to know that for all the years I've been watching the Knicks, you just can't blatantly just say we at home, we gonna fix it, we gonna get right, we gonna defend it. The Knicks have played better on the road than they've played at home during this whole playoff run. So I'm not falling into that trap. I can't do that. I've watched too much basketball. I'm too well versed in the Knicks and their shenanigans over the years. But Star, can I please speak on this topic real quick before I land my plane, please?
Well, hold on a second. Let me hold on. Let me bring in the check and report.
Salute.
Okay, you're on the screen. Just hold tight. We got the Most High. We got number 9. Okay, the Most High. You want to address the topic, black fatigue?
So I don't think anybody in their right mind, who's versed in being a good person, or cemented in being righteous or whatever, is going to reward bad behavior. Okay. However, I'm somebody who, yes, you should be your best self. Yes, you should be a credit to your race and all of that. At all times, you should be your best self, no question. Okay. However, I'm going to say this. Once I start hearing black fatigue and terms like that being co-opted like woke was to try to be flipped against us and, made to do what it wasn't meant to do in the beginning, I don't want to hear people just blaming us recklessly and all that. Social media shows this. Yes, it's ratchet, but guess what? Those are your platforms. VH1, y'all don't even show videos no more, but y'all going to show love and quote-unquote hip-hop and show ratchet black bros all over and get all type of ad revenue and indoctrinate a whole generation of black folks. Y'all signing off on that. All y'all major record labels, y'all signing off on Black Death and Destruction. You making money off it, and you doing what you knew you meant to do in the beginning, is to influence negatively. You signing off on that. You have the money to influence, and that's exactly, you have the money and the vehicles to influence. You're doing that. Yes, you are. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg, Harvard, all that. That's his platform that's allowing murder, death, kill, all that. So why are you blaming us? You allowing this school system? Let's take it there. You just had a show a couple months ago that the New Jersey school system is lowering the standards for the teachers there, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the government, right, allowing the standards of their educators to be lowered, and that's going to have a direct effect on the youth. Okay. Now, what about what you injecting children with when they born? What about the foolishness you feeding the kids in school? What kind of nutrition is that? Stop playing. It's multi-layered. Stop just pointing the finger at the victim when y'all been doing this. Stop it. Y'all been doing this for 40, 50, 60 years. It's multi-layered. And if you intelligent, number 9, stop being willfully ignorant and speak to the whole thing. Stop playing, man.
The Most High, hang on now. The Most High, you took a shot. I was trying to bring in the check-in report. We have to let number 9 respond. You took a shot, man. You know the rules.
Well, this is exactly my point. This caller made my point for me. Again, this is this black victim mentality. This idea that they've been victimized so much that they just can't help themselves. You see, the reality is, I believe it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who said the black man must take accountability for himself and only for himself. No excuses. So this, woe is us, and we got this and that and a third. It falls flat in 2025. The only thing that is the standard, it's not the substance.
I let the call off with that. I led my whole soliloquy off with that same sentiment. I led it off with that same sentiment. So if you was paying attention, you would know that I said anybody who's versed in being a good person or anybody who is built upon righteousness will not accept bad behavior. However, when people like you try to point the finger and act like you don't know what's really going on, either you're not as intelligent as you think or you on your Uncle Ruckus S. So stop playing.
Okay, you have to let him respond. The Most High, number 9, please, so we can let the Most High land his plane, please.
Well, this conversation is training wheels for you. It doesn't really, I've surpassed this ideology that you guys are on. But the reality is, again, you're still you're talking about accountability, but then you're using this victimhood. You know, you can't play both sides. The reality is you have to point fingers because in our modern day society, black folks are out of control, and you cannot pretend that they're not. And you know, this whole diatribe that you're on, it sounds good, but it comes up flat.
Okay.
And if you can't, and if you
all right, number 9, I have to let the Most High land his plane. You have 15 seconds. I got to bring other calls in. The Most High, please.
Yo, Star, peace. This dude been a clown for a long time, man. Respect, man. Wisdom God.
Peace, okay.
You're just a nigga. You're just a nigga that smokes loose cigarettes in the project. So this conversation doesn't do me any favors.
Okay, number 9, sit tight. Check-in report. Thank you for your patience, man.
Salute.
Yesterday, you told me that you already addressed this on your platform.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to start? Black 50.
Well, first we got to address the tether on the line. I mean, he's talking a lot of nonsense. I mean, I don't know what he's getting at.
Can we come back to number 9 in a second? Break down this topic, this term. I found this book from 2020, but this is morphed into something different. Yes, the book by Mary Frances Winters meant something different from what people are saying now.
The original term of black fatigue was about black people and talking about the oppression that they were dealing with in America, and all of the trials and tribulations. What white people have done, they've done what they've always done. They've stolen something, and they making it apply to them. My issue with the new modern black fatigue is we have to address this. White people, we have learned criminality. We have learned savagery from you. The first time we witnessed savagery, the first time we witnessed misogyny, the first time we witnessed gangsterism in its purest form was from the white men. So we're not getting this out of thin air. This is your culture. This is your culture.
Uh-oh. Hang on now, check-in report now. I got to give you a little pushback. You're saying that nobody was raping, robbing, slaughtering, and enslaving back in the motherland, Africa?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. That's not what I'm saying.
Come on.
I'm saying when it applies to America, we are black people living in America.
Okay.
When black people got here, this is what you got to remember. We were under captivity. This is what we're witnessing. We're not out here being loud, ravenous, flamboyant Negroes when we get here.
Okay.
We're docile. We're witnessing the savagery. We're witnessing We're witnessing that slave master backhand his wife. We're witnessing the savagery.
You're going there. Let's go.
We're witnessing the gangsterism in its purest form. So this is white culture, and that's just my opinion in terms of black fatigue. This is white culture that blacks have adopted.
Okay. Guys, we got a little echo in the background. If one of you can make the adjustments. David, you want to chime in?
Yes.
The check-in report. It's just laid out what he wanted to say.
Yes, I would like to say that it's not about black accountability. It's about black exhaustion. The fact that we're exasperated by the day-to-day situational encounters that we experience. So unless you're delusional or completely oblivious, you won't experience black fatigue. Because unless you're living in a deluded state, because it's everywhere. So I would ask number 9, respectfully, when you go into certain establishments, have you ever experienced inferior customer service? Have you ever felt that, you were suspicious to people? Have you ever been treated like you had a lower intellect in certain conversations? And I'm curious now, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with constantly when you're talking to people and they assume that you have a lower intellect? How do you deal when people are naturally suspicious of you?
Let him respond. Number 9. David, ask you a question.
Well, I say yes, boss, or no, boss.
So subservience is the key.
Yes, a boss.
I say yes, boss,
yes,
or no,
boss. Yes, a boss.
That's how I deal with it.
Yes.
That's how I deal with it.
Yes.
I say I say, yes, Mr. Charlie. I say, no, Miss Ann. Yes, Miss Ann. Yes, Mr. Charlie. That's how I deal with it. That's how I deal with it.
So you're just be subservient is what you're saying, and just accept it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Check-in report.
I learned it from Black.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Check-in report back to you because again, man, you called in, you put this in front of me here. I didn't have time to do a lot of research today, but this is picking up some traction. I got a video I may or may not play. I think it's from Houston somewhere, Fox. I forget the guy's name. And there are white people now chiming in on Black fatigue. I find that to be a little odd because, as I said, when the show first started out, you don't see Black people being let in to discuss, Ashkenazi issues or Asian concerns.
Absolutely. And what I see online, I see a bunch of tethers, whites gathering together, to get on foundational Black. In my opinion, this is just I'm a foundational Black American. I feel like the tethers have gathered together with other ethnicities in their hatred for foundational Black America. That's what I feel. That's what I really think is grounded in. That's what I think is really grounded in.
Okay. Do you think that this is some type of distraction for reparations? This new term and this it'll be something else in 2 years. I mean, and all this stuff to make you think of something else other than what's owed to you. I'm just asking.
Absolutely. I think all forms of disruptions in terms when it comes to Black America, it is a form of taking your attention away from anything that Black people should be owed.
Okay. I'm gonna bring a friend of mine on, but I'm gonna warn him one goddamn time. Gonna warn you one time, man. Are you sipping? I want your A game tonight, white boy Rory. Give me the A game, man. Where's Rory? Rory, are you there? What is he doing? I thought he was ready. I'll text him. Area code 718.
Bring a good man on the show. Bring a good man like Rory on the show.
As long as he's not drinking and doing too much. Area code 718. Good evening. We're having a discussion, Black fatigue, and how it affects other communities. Are you there? Are you ready? 718. Yes, no, maybe. Please don't kill the vibe. Okay, folks, please don't call me and you're not ready to talk. We're trying to have a conversation here. Area code 862. Good evening. Are you there? Are you ready? 862.
Good evening. Salute, sir.
How are you, sir? What's cracking?
All right. I just wanted to chime in about this Black fatigue thing and the use of all of this quote unquote tether babble about Black folks being out of control and this and that. Okay. Were white guys on January 6th out of control when they stormed the Capitol and wiped shit on the walls?
Let's go.
Excuse my language.
Come on.
Were they out of control in Charlottesville when they were marching through the streets with tiki torches? Were they out of control just recently up in Indiana when they came into a Black community of peaceful Black folks and started marching with KKK nonsense? Was that Black folks out of control? White folks have always been out of control. It's only when we respond with some out of control that now there's a problem. Yeah. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. So
good point.
They need to stop with the nonsense and deal with the real issue. The real issue is wealth. The reason why you have Black folks out of control and starving and reaching out for anything possible to get themselves something that allows them to be American is because we've been robbed and raped and pillaged for the last 400 years in this country. The median Black wealth right now sits around $27,000. That's less than half of what a new car costs. And that's the household wealth. Okay. Meanwhile, Asians are sitting around $320,000. White folks are sitting around $280,000. Even the Hispanics have been brought here as a buffer class, sitting around 48, 49,000.
Okay.
These are not accidents. These people have been put in place, propped up by government programs
We talked. The brother earlier talked about how the GI Bill propped up white folks and made suburbs for them. My grandfather's 99 years old. He fought in World War II.
Nice.
He came home and went and tried to get a loan for a house that he already had partially built. They told him to his face, "We don't loan money like that to niggas."
Right. Yeah.
He was only asking for $12,000. He had $15,000 in that bank. He just didn't want to spend his own money. So don't say that these things aren't systemic. You can go back and look into the media of the 70s with movies like Claudine, which showed you the issues that were purposely put in place. You can go back and look at COINTELPRO. You can go back and look at the things that they did in Tuskegee. You can't say that it's black folks just all of a sudden deciding to be animalistic and wild. We've been pushed into the jungle, and now you want to know why we're throwing spears back.
Number 9, do you want to respond to what this man said? He's making some good points. Number 9.
Well, he's making some good points to people who subscribe to victimhood.
Okay.
You know, who was burning down all the major cities 5 years ago, screaming Black Lives Matter? Who was destroying inner city communities that they had to go back and live in and scream Black Lives Matter and Black Power? So let's
those things came out of.
Sir, if you can let him speak, let's do one at a time.
Also,
sir, let number 9 speak. Go ahead.
Also, what you're spewing is so-called is Black Bolshevik, Black radicalism ideology. Blacks didn't talk like you were talking prior to the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Power movement in 1960. This is something that happened within the last 60 years. Black people were not talking like you. And let's also get clear. Again, like I said, there was always a black upper class in America. Blacks weren't always downtrodden and poor and angry and fighting the white establishment. There was always an upper class. And also, if you listen to people like Thomas Sowell, Shelby Steele, Horace Cooper, and people of that nature, they talk about, of course you say that. So again, let's not pretend that there's only one side to this coin, and you just call it coon because it doesn't fit your narrative. Coon. There's more than one.
Claude Anderson.
Narrative. Sir, if you let him finish, I will give you the floor. But please, one at a time. One at a time.
You know,
number
there's
9.
More than, it just goes to show that there's more than one narrative. You pass it off and you say coon because it doesn't fit your talking points, because we all know that there's more than one narrative and not all black people think the way you do, and you can't stand that, so you pass it off and call them coons and use other pejorative language. Okay. So we have to stop the nonsense, and this is the ideology that I'm talking about.
Okay. Sir, sir, can you land your plane? I got the callers coming in.
Because you are versed in the subverse does not make you intelligent. Okay, Thomas Sowell is a conservative, professional white ass kisser. He's always been that. He's been bought off and paid off by the collegiate machine that made him. But when you want to talk about excellence, you want to talk about academia, let's talk about Dr. Claude Anderson. Do we want to talk about him? Because he brought out the fact that in the end of slavery, we walked away with 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth, and that's exactly where we sit today, with 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth. That's not an accident. He laid out the book.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt. We have some echo. Guys, I'm sorry. Rory.
Yo, number 9, don't waste your time.
Rory, hold on a second.
Bullshit,
Rory, hold on a second. You got an echo. Fix the echo in the background. I'll come right back to you. All right, sir. Okay.
But I'm gonna land my plane.
Well, hang on a second. If I can just ask you something. You brought up a very good point.
Yes, sir.
And you referenced Dr. Claude Anderson, but now he did predict in Powernomics that blacks will become a permanent underclass. He did.
Yes, he did.
He did say that. So what are we to do now? Because I think he said it was 2015. I forget when he said blacks would become a permanent underclass. So what do we do now? I mean, we see, chaos. We see a culture of stripping. We see another called it the culture of finessing down in the Atlanta area. What do you think, Dr. Claude Anderson, what he said?
Those are symptoms of the larger problem, Star.
Okay.
Those are not the problem. Those things are people reacting to the problem. If you want to say that, okay, violence is the voice, or rioting is the voice of the weak, then what you see with black folks popping off all over the internet is that frustration of not knowing how to combat this system. So you're going to combat it with the lowest form that's built into every human being, which is violence. So we're going to resort back to our animalistic nature, like the other brother that was on TV on your cam up was saying. You have to look at the systemic things that cause these problems.
Hang on a second now.
Sit back.
Hang on. You said the voice of the weak, but Martin Luther King Jr. said violence is the language of the people. He didn't say the weak. I just want to be clear, okay? But
no, I didn't mean the weak. I meant the impoverished, meaning those that are not in power.
Okay.
Meaning those that don't control the levers of power. Okay. So when I say weak, I mean we're not economically strong enough to fight this beast directly.
Right.
So the brother said that I don't believe that we're ever going to get reparations. Well, a couple of people on the plantation never thought they were ever going to be free.
Yeah. Okay.
The American Negro is the only Negro on the planet that came back from zero educational skills to over 50% literacy in less than 20 years. That's never been done in the history of the world. So we're the most spectacular people that has ever lived.
Okay. So I have to take other calls. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. All right. We're having a good discussion here. Hold on a second. I think he was area code 862. And where is all right, Rory, I need you to watch the language. We're trying to have a good conversation here. Rory, are you there?
Oh, are we? We're having a good conversation.
Yeah. Don't make me get you. Don't make me get you up out of here. I spoke to you a couple of days ago. Come on, give me your A game.
Yeah, we're good.
I want your A game. Come on.
Yeah, well, guys like the last caller, why not call the Bloods of the Crips? Why don't you have a 911 system where you don't have to call the white man or the police since you're the ones who call them all the time? Why not have a 911 system where you can call the Bloods? You live in a Blood neighborhood, call the Bloods to come help you. Your mama's getting beat up by your fifth baby daddy. Call the Bloods. Your mama's getting beat up by a Crip who just came out of prison after doing 25 years. Don't call the white police. Don't call 911. Get on some.
Guys, we got an echo somewhere bouncing back here. Can someone turn their laptop down, please? Okay, Rory, hold on a second. Hold on. Check your report. You want to respond? Rory's
a lot of drunk babble. A lot of drunk babble. I don't know where to start or to begin. I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of drunk babble. I don't know. I don't know his point.
Maybe he's grooving.
He has nothing to say.
Let's not call him drunk. Maybe he's grooving.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to say. This guy got nothing to say.
A lot of drunk
babble. Call the Bloods. Call the Crips.
Okay. All right, number 9. You want to chime in? Where's Gene Richmond?
Well, what I gotta say is to all this blackness, there's a nigga out there with dreadlocks and gold in his mouth that'll rob every Negro on this line, and no one wants to talk about that.
Isn't that true? Number nine. Isn't that true of every race though? Are you just gonna put that on black people?
No.
Isn't that true? Hold on.
It's not true.
Hold on.
Come on.
Isn't that true of does every race? Will you at least admit that every race has bad apples? Because I can admit that as a foundational Black American man, I can say every race has their bad apples. Will you admit that?
Yes. So what?
But I'm saying because you're saying that you're saying that there's a nigger with dreadlocks and gold teeth that will rob everybody on this line. So that's indicative of every race. Yeah. Every race has that. So I don't understand.
Yeah. No, it's not.
You just said it was.
Look at the crime statistics.
You just
look
said
at the crime statistics. Look at the crime statistics.
You just said that every race has bad apples.
Oh no, they won't do statistics. They won't do statistics.
Hold on.
They only want to talk about mathematics when it's some black fucking,
All right, Rory, you got to watch the language. Hold on a second. Check your report. Hold on.
Are you talking
Rory,
about?
come on. I spoke to you 2 days ago.
My bad.
Fix the echo. Come on, man. Fix the goddamn echo.
They only want to do mathematics when it suits them with the with the jail stuff. They only want to do mathematics then. When you talk about mathematics, you talk about statistics. Oh no, they run from it. They run from it, and they're the only thing that
We're here.
the only reason you messing with me,
We're here.
I'm a proud black woman. I'm a tough black woman. You never heard a white girl come up in there and say, I'm a tough white woman. That's why you messing with me.
They do it
You
all the
never
time.
heard that.
You never heard of white feminism? You never heard of white
Hey,
feminism?
Rory, hold on a second. Check what you were saying, sir. Go ahead.
What these guys are talking about, they're talking about per capita statistics. Let's look at the wide scale. Let's look at all the death, destruction, genocide on a wide scale that the white man is willing to inflict. The white man is willing to inflict hellfire on this earth.
It's black people's fault.
One at a time, Rory.
It's black people's
Rory,
fault.
one at a time. Turn the echo down.
Y'all so galvanized over two Negroes shooting firearms at one another when the white man is willing to drop an A-bomb right now. Kill thousands and millions of people, millions of lives.
The white man afforded you a country you never had, you never dreamed of. The white man afforded you a lot.
Okay, we're doing one at a time. Check and report. Go ahead and finish up, but stay there. I'm gonna let Rory land.
I'm just saying what these men are talking about is per capita. If we look at the level of affliction and pain that the white man is willing to inflict, it's not even worth mentioning. It's not even, you can't even compare it. So that's my opinion on that.
Okay. All right, Rory.
You hit the lottery.
Rory, New York Knicks, they lost game 4. Can you land your plane there?
Yo, these black people, no, forget about the New York Knicks. These black people, when we get on the subject, we stick on the subject. They hit the lottery. The black Americans who live in America, they hit the lottery. They should be so happy. They should be so happy. Everybody tired of them with their own bullshit. You should be so happy. You could be back in Africa, and at lunchtime at school,
you could be back in Ireland.
A kangaroo.
You could be back in Ireland.
Go catch a zebra.
Check your report. Let him land his plane. Check your report. Let him land his plane.
Nah, they playing themselves.
Yeah, Rory.
Nah, these black dudes is playing themselves, man. Yo, of course it's black fatigue. Every black woman who comes up here, whether it's Letitia James, Fannie Willis, all of them. Well, I'm a black woman and I'm strong. So nobody care about that, bitch. If you broke the law, then you broke the law. So nobody care about that. You're not special because you black. You ugly because you black. How about that?
Okay.
You know?
All right. Well, Rory, we'll talk tomorrow.
Community.
Rory. Hey. We'll talk tomorrow. No,
hell no. I ain't done.
You're done. You're grooving. You did good.
No, I'm not done.
We'll talk tomorrow. Okay. He's grooving, and it's okay. I mean, I let him rock.
He's the great white hope. Let him speak. He's the great white hope.
He did
Let him
good.
speak.
He did good. All right, David. Go ahead and finish up, man. Land your plane. What's popping on your platform, David D. Cordova?
New video out. Is the Ark of the Covenant responsible for protecting Ethiopia from colonization? Great video. Please check out my platform, Today's Religious Talk. Got that out right now. And yeah, just in closing with this conversation, I just want to say that this type of rhetoric, the whole black fatigue thing, it's very dangerous because when people start talking how they're exhausted about a group of people, then they make strategies and ways to put them away. So this is why we have to be careful with this particular term, and we have to push back and fight against it or champion its original use or the intention of the term to highlight the stress that black people experience.
Well, hold on a second. Since you said that, before you go, again, rap music, hip hop. Yes. How did you phrase that earlier in the email? You said something. I can't pull the email up right now, but
I would like to go on record personally as saying they need to abolish rap music. Hip hop used to stand for higher infinite power, healing our people. Right now it's become something else. I said that it's serving the criminal justice system and glorifying and romanticizing criminality, and it's indoctrinating the youth in a criminal lifestyle. So I think we need to get rid of it, and we'd be better off without it. No, and I also said that it enriched the few at the expense of the masses.
Okay. Any response, number 9, or the check-in report, or do we let David
I
land
agree
his plane there?
I agree on his point with
Your volume's kind of low. Check-in report, your volume's low. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Much better. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, in terms of hip hop, I don't think we should get rid of hip hop. I believe we should do something in terms of, like, I've heard you say this before, a council. We need to get, in terms of all of the, entities that are involved, the corporations that are involved. We could
that was like 15 years ago when I was talking about a hip hop council. I think it's so antiquated now, though.
I agree. But I mean, we could still work on that. But I mean, we're never going to be able to fully do that if we have corporations and other entities involved in hip hop.
Okay, David, great to see you, man. And folks, please check out David D. Cordova on Today's Religious Talk.
Thank you, Star.
Thank you, David. Okay, check-in report. Stay right there, and let me. I wanted to read this. I don't have my contacts in. Hold on a second. It was a donation. Charles says FBI stats show most arrests are of white, 69%, and black, 27% individuals. Black Americans are overrepresented in violent crimes like homicide, largely due to systemic issues like poverty and over-policing. Most crime is interracial. Context matters. Number 9, you should speak to that.
Well, I mean, he literally answered it as well. The violent crimes, interracial violent crimes are predominantly black against white. That's an FBI statistic.
Okay.
6% of the population is committing over 50% of the violent crime. That's also an FBI statistic. I didn't make that up. That's just the reality of it all. Okay. And I guess people don't understand per capita. That's something that black folks just don't understand. Per head, per person.
I think they do. Do you want to elaborate? I think people have very good understanding of it.
What I'm saying is it's a broader issue. Jesse Jackson, once upon a time, said himself when he's walking down a dark Chicago street and he turns around and he looks and he sees that it's not a black person, he gives a sigh of relief. That's Jesse Jackson who said that. Now you tell me who's really in touch and who's really out of touch and knows what's actually going on. There's a lot of hatchet men and there's a lot of false philosophy here until we talk about what the root cause of black fatigue in 2025 is. All blacks are still raising and causing hell. And if you want to keep using excuses like systemic racism and nonsense and slavery, then it's not going to solve the problem. You need to get down to the root cause.
You and I have spoken on multiple occasions about this particular topic. We're friends. Reparations, you're not in favor of it for foundational black Americans, right?
I think it's foolish. Who's going to pay it? The people who didn't own slaves? The people who were not slave masters? Who's going to pay the reparations? The government? The same government that allowed slavery to fester for decades upon decades?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
The same government that sends billions of dollars to Israel. Yes.
Exactly.
The same government that gives money to Ashkenazis who were never in the Holocaust. Yes.
Oh, easy. I think you need to check your tone.
I don't have to say easy. What do I say easy for? I'm a man.
I'm
61 years of age. I'm a man of knowledge, wisdom, and experience. Yes. The same government. Yes, the same government.
Star, can I ask number 9 a question?
I didn't stutter. That's not anti-Semitic. Yes, the same government, sir.
I think the ADO would disagree with what you're saying,
and that's fine. And that's fine, sir. But I said it.
And the SPLC.
Can you land your plane, number 9? I appreciate you calling in.
Well, I'll land my plane like this. If I go on Twitter, if I go on TikTok, if I go on Instagram, I can see black foolishness at its worst than I think I've ever seen before. Black people got a problem, and unless you address what the root cause, which is not racism, it's not slavery, it's not lack of reparations, it's character. Maybe you should read the bell curve.
Read the bell curve. You might find your answer. But thank you. Thank you.
Good to talk to you, Gene Richmond. Thank you for tapping in.
All right.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's my guy. Ryan, I got your donation. He says rappers today are modern day Sambos. Okay, I don't have my contacts in exploitation of the worst of the black community for entertainment. Has hurt blacks not only in America but worldwide. Okay, we need knowledge of self, understanding, and refinement. Peace. Thank you for your donation. Ryan, do you want to call in, sir, or do you want to cam up? Guys, if you're just now joining me, I have not done a whole bunch of research on the topic, black fatigue, but on the screen we have the check-in report, and he called in yesterday and said that he was discussing this on your platform a few days ago. Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm kind of like, come
on.
I want to reverse it, you know, because I've been spending time on black fatigue. I want to talk about white fatigue. I want to talk about, you know, 300-pound white woman chasing after me. I want to talk about, you know,
your volume went down again. Your volume went all the way down. Say again. Say again.
I want to. Oh, you hear me?
There you go. Much better. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I want to reverse it. I want to talk about my white fatigue. I want to talk about getting pulled over by the police. I want to talk about, you know, being watched in the stores. I want to talk about 300-pound white women chasing after me. I want to talk about the white fatigue that I'm dealing with in America. Because, you know, if you're dealing with black fatigue, I want to talk about my white fatigue.
Okay. So now the white fatigue, as you put it, is it wearing on you mentally?
Yes. Every day, every second of the day.
Hold on a second. I keep a bunch of books around me. I always have. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. You've heard of that book, yes?
Yes, I've heard of the term. I haven't seen the book. No.
Yeah, here's a good book with regards to white fatigue. You might want to pick this book up by Joy DeGruy, PhD. You might have a lawsuit. You sue the government. I'm in serious colon cancer. I'm suffering from white fatigue.
White fatigue, exactly.
I'm a victim of post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Absolutely.
I'm serious fucking colon cancer. Hold on a second. Area code 215. Please watch the language. We're having a good discussion. Late night, are you there? 215.
Hey, Star, it's Sarah.
Sarah, good to hear from you. Hey.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm great.
So, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
This is the beginning of the end.
Come on.
Black dysfunctionals, you were warned. You had a long run. The white liberals do not need you anymore. They've tried to replace you with the LGBTQIA community first, and then they brought in the Negroes from other places that do not possess the history of America. And now they're realizing that they're going to have to deal with you and your dysfunctional nature, which they have always used and tapped into. Now they have to deal with you. So they're setting the tone to justify what is coming. You've had a long run, a long deviant run. It's a wrap. Karma's here. Yeah. Star, you show me any black dysfunctional being that can function in any way, shape, or form without white liberals. Not one.
Yeah. You and I had similar conversations, and I can't sit here and pretend that, you know, some of these young black people are not dangerous and concerning. I mean, listen, I hate to admit it, but I grew up on young black 14-year-olds.
I'm agreeing with I'm agreeing with you. I'm not doubting that, Star. What I'm saying is,
no, you're right. You're right.
The black dysfunctionals, the political angle.
Yeah.
How did they last this long? It's been 60 years now. How did specifically, because you have black functional, civilized, intelligent people, and then you have the black dysfunctional ones that have been on a long, extended murder-suicide mission for quite some time when it comes to black people. How did those black dysfunctionals survive this long? And that's why go ahead.
Checking report. You want to respond to Sarah? I'm responding to the email here.
I mean, I agree with her point. There is a black dysfunction, and I believe that it is a separation. I believe that we have, you know, black people that are fair and easy and tax-paying citizens that are not living these stereotypes, and we have the dysfunction people in the society. So I agree with her point there. I agree with that.
The black dysfunctionals were used as weapons against black functional civilized people that have been a real threat out here, those who are in tune with reality, those with intelligence. Now we've entered into a time when terms are used to set the tone. We've entered into a time they're no longer needed. They're being, and it has already begun, they're being disenfranchised, but the tone is being set to justify what is being done to them and what awaits them, righteously so. Black dysfunctionals, the main target of them has been other innocent black people. That has been their main target. So now we're entering into a time where they're being put down. It is what it is. I can remember, Star, are you still there, sir?
I'm listening. I'm right here.
Okay. I remember a few years ago, this was in the past 5 years, when the term Karen came up.
Right.
Every time watch this. Every time a white woman said something, had a question, she had an opinion, she wanted a supervisor, number to corporate, Karen. And then not too long after that, boom. I said something's going on because they're trying to shut down the voice of white women in this society. Then boom, abortions laws changed. I said, oh, that's why you wanted to shut them down. So if they said anything, it wouldn't hold any, it wouldn't have any value. So now the tone is being set, black fatigue. If society suffers from black fatigue, black righteous people we suffer from Negro exhaustion. Because we're the ones that have been the real targets. The outsiders don't live around these certain individuals. And the privilege has been for the outsiders. The black dysfunctionals didn't see and target and torment them. They would do that to other black people. So
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would you say that every ethnicity has a dysfunction class, though? Would you say that? Would you say every race?
Yeah, but other ethnicities have handled their dysfunctionals. What do you think the white liberals are? The Negroes are the white race, and they know it. And they've been shunned, rejected, and rebuked. There's a lot of places they cannot go. See, black people think that everyone's the same, and it's not. White liberals are the rejects of their own race. So every other race has handled, the black race is the race where the dysfunctionals have taken over and they run everything. They were not handled properly.
So you believe that the black dysfunctional race is probably the most, would you say they're the most influential?
Your volume went down again. Check him.
I'm sorry. I was saying, would you say that the black dysfunction class, would you say that they're the most influential?
Sadly.
They've been empowered. They were empowered.
Yeah.
They've been given the BS degrees. They were given it. They were given the jobs. They hold the dangerous power of influence. They call the shots. So righteous black people have been overthrown. Intelligent black people have been overthrown and overruled from within first.
And let me just say this, guys, if you're new to this show, Sarah goes hard in the paint on black women. She's fair, but she goes in on the mammies. Is that fair to say, Sarah?
Yeah, I do. I go hard, extra hard. So this is when I kept saying that their karma's here, and they're known as the source and the nucleus of this black dysfunction. Right. And they're about to get hit real hard. When terms black fatigue come up, oh yeah, you're getting lined up. See, but for the black dysfunctionals, whites were privileged with them. They didn't really see them. They wouldn't bother them, harass them, stalk them on a regular basis. They did that to black people. But now, since 2020, the game that was ran on society, the black dysfunction has now spread. Now, for the first time, say certain white people have been living in fear. But so they're going to handle them accordingly. What a great time to be black, functional, and civilized. What a great time. Because they know they're her kind, and her tribe. They know what she raised. Deals, Star, have been made on the flesh of the people with her. They know her household. Plantation 2.0.
Good point. All right.
So I thank you so much for letting me speak.
Thank you.
Oh, shout out to Uncle Rory. Shout out to him.
I'll let you get one shout out, officer. Thank you so
much. I'm so sorry,
You're
Star.
good.
I forgot. I can't do shout out. I'm so sorry. All right, take care, you guys.
I appreciate it.
Bye bye.
All right. Check in report. I think we have number 9 calling you Questlove. He just got off the line. He says, why does Questlove keep deflecting?
He looks like Ahmed Johnson from WWE.
Okay. Sam, I analyze. Is Sam there? Sam, we can't hear you, man. Where is Sam? Get that volume fixed. Give him a second. Let me get your showrunner here whilst you're trying to get your volume together. Sam, I analyze. We cannot hear you. Sam.
I'm here.
There you go. Good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
You are one of my sports aficionados. Basketball is your forte. Your information is on the showrunner right now, youtube.com/@Sam I Analyze. What happened to the Knicks earlier? Game 4.
The Knicks are done. And the Knicks are not only done, the Knicks have to be they're a very dumb team. I'm beyond disgusted. You're playing you beat a Celtics team and thought you won the championship. I think the Knicks fed into the crowd and everything and forgot you have 8 more to reach the goal. And I think you've got to give Indiana a lot of credit because this is a team that they were in the same position last year and they were not just going to give it to you. But when you're a Knicks team, your season is on the line. You have to win tonight. You turn the ball over 17 times and give the Pacers 20 points as a result of the sloppiness. Josh Hart, to me, had one of his worst games as a Knick tonight. 5 turnovers. And Josh Hart is the heart of this Knicks team. I mean, obviously, after Jalen Brunson, in my opinion.
Yeah, if I can jump, and I was going to say after Jalen Brunson. And Josh Hart, is he a better defensive player? I have not been watching all season. I'm just
Josh Hart is a Swiss Army knife. He grabs boards, he defends, he'll play 48 minutes. He does it all. Right. But today, I mean, every turnover he had led to the Pacers running back. And it was a gut punch for this Knicks team.
If I can jump in, it appears to me that the Pacers have found their groove, and the Knicks are they're not gelling. But I have not been watching all season. I've been listening to people who are really good basketball aficionados, left-handed. The Most High, Florida Boy J, CP from Knicks Fan TV, and the Knicks to me don't appear to be gelling. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right. I felt going into the series, the playoffs, the Knicks needed another season. And in fairness to the Knicks, the Celtics, they didn't just win the championship. They went through it for about 4 or 5 seasons, right? They gelled together, right? This Pacers team, heartbroken loss to the Celtics last year. So you knew you were going to face a team that was hungry, and they were not going to give it to the Knicks because they lost last year. The Knicks may need this, and then to see, to learn, because they've struggled guarding the 3. The Knicks have struggled guarding the 3 and pick and roll all year. And the Pacers are just like, this is the blueprint, and this is what you struggled with all year. This is what we're gonna feed you the entire series until you stop it. And look, I think going into Thursday, the refs and the NBA, they don't want the Knicks to lose on because right now the Eastern Conference Final and the Western Conference Final have been a complete fail for the NBA. I feel so. I think the Knicks defend MSG, even though their record is 3-4 5 or something like that at the Garden. I think they find a way to win, but I can't confidently sit there and tell you that come Saturday the Knicks are playing a game 7.
Okay. Well, game 5 is Thursday night, and
it's over because I don't. And then Carlin, I just they're not right now. They're not smart. They're not smart.
Let me jump in. And Mo Fax, sit tight. I see you in the queue. Mo Fax, hold on. Now, I am the objective hater, not a player hater. I would love to see the Knicks come back.
It would be a great story. I'm a huge Knicks fan.
Hang on. I would love to see the Knicks come back. Are they capable of it? Because I've said this throughout the series with the Pacers. The Pacers are kind of sloppy, and I think they have been outthinking the Knicks. Am I wrong? Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, he what 5 3-pointers tonight?
Well, right. I have the stats up here. Yes, Tyrese had one for the ages. He had a triple-double where he only Nikola Jokic and I forget it escapes me. Oscar Robertson had ever had a triple-double with no turnovers. But yes,
is it possible that the Knicks can come back? They're down 3-1.
Look,
that would be a hell of a story.
They have the talent.
What'd you say? Check the report.
Absolutely not. And I just want to let it. I'm not rocking no Knicks. This is the Islanders.
Yeah, I see the Islanders. You're rocking, but it's the Knicks colors.
Yeah, I know. This one let y'all. I'm not here repping. I look wild right now. I'm in the middle rocking the Knicks colors. I know it looks crazy, so I'm rocking the Islanders hoodie. This is not Knicks attire. No.
All right, Sam. When's the next time you're posting content, going live? What's going on with you, Sam? I analyze.
Well, I'm posting my my game 4 review tomorrow morning around 9 o'clock. I'm editing the video now, but yeah. Knicks.
You want to hang on for a second? Or you got to go.
Absolutely.
Stay there. Here's a good man right here. Mo Fax, good to hear from you, man. We're talking about a few topics, black fatigue and how it affects other communities. Mo Fax.
How you doing, Star?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
One thing we have to understand is it's not black fatigue.
Okay.
It's non-white fatigue. White people are tired of all colored people. Every single one of them. Okay. And they have no more need for them with AI, robots, everything else. And they're ready to take over their planet and have a justification to rid this planet of every other race except white. This is what they're setting up. And they've been setting this up ever since 2020 because they let the niggas out in the streets. They took the children out of school, no education, so they can say, look at them. They're no better than animals. And for these people that say, I'm a functional, they don't matter. It don't matter if you're functional, dysfunctional, semi-functional. It don't matter. You're black. They didn't say ghetto fatigue. They didn't say hood fatigue. They said black fatigue. That means anybody with color in their skin, they got to go. Even that's what the whole thing in the White House with the South African thing was. They said, yeah, we gave y'all land back a little bit. And look what you done with it. You'll starve without us. So you don't belong on this planet. And that's exactly, and
I agree.
RFK Jr. sit up there and said himself, oh yeah, we can dial in certain bioweapons that take out certain genetic groups. So they sitting on everything they need to do to get rid of everybody they want to get rid of. I think the only problem, this is just me speculating, I don't really they ain't did it yet. Who gonna bury all the dead bodies? They ain't figured that out yet.
Probably,
and that's the truth.
Probably put the bodies in incinerators. If I'm not
but you need color people to do. But hey, white people ain't gonna do that. That's what they got niggas for.
Russians have mobile incinerators over there in the Ukraine right now, so they have the technology.
Yeah, and that's
the hated misses nothing.
We're at a point now where technology has gotten to the point that colored people have outlived their usefulness. They no longer need us. They have AI that can sing like us. They got robots that can dance like us. They got all kind of like I said, artificial intelligence and capabilities that they don't need Mexicans no more to build. They don't need any of them. They don't need any of these. That's why they're packing them up and sending them back home now. We don't need you in our country, and that's why we need to open our eyes and see what's going on here. But we're too silly. And I've been saying this for a very long time, Star. You know, I've been calling to your show for a very long time saying the same thing. Yes, we need to elevate our minds to understand that these people are not playing with us. And they gave us, just like my dad used to say, they gave us just enough rope to hang ourselves. That whole George Floyd, Black Lives Matter thing was just a justification to radicalize white people to become white supremacists again. They stoked white hate. With Obama and everything else, it was like, oh, you know, we can go post-racial. No. The white supremacists said, no, we can't do that. So let's do Trayvon Martin. Let's do all this Black Lives Matter. And look who was funding it. That was white supremacists who was funding Black Lives Matter. They let them break COVID protocol to come out in the streets and riot and set stuff on fire to like I said, stoke white hate and turn moderate white people that really didn't care one way or another about race into stone cold racists.
Hang on a second, Mo Facts.
He was always there, but they germinated it. Go ahead. My fault.
Sam, you want to chime in or check in report?
I agree with what he's saying in terms, because I think the white man, respectfully, is looking at these stats. He's looking at the birth rates going down, the life expectancy of white people going down.
Your volume went out. Check in report.
All right. You hear me now?
There you go. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I think the white man, he's watching all these things. He's watching the life expectancy go down, the opioid crisis. He's watching all these things. So he's trying to change the tide now. He's trying, like he said, I agree. They're trying to pack up all the, you know, all the other ethnicities. And I mean, we have probationary whites. They'll do for now. They'll, you know, give black people a hard time in the communities. So I agree with what he's saying. I agree.
Okay. Sam, do you want to chime in? Sam, I analyze on the topic, black fatigue and how it affects other communities.
Well, I heard you speaking on this earlier. I think, you know, I think that this has been the long game for a while. I think just in black communities, you see health rates, you know, when it comes to, you know, the diabetes, the food, and these things have been implemented to I guess to bring the communities down. But I think I saw something during COVID about who's the guy who does the computer?
Well, hang on a second, Sam. You're from Long Island, New York. Yes, you live in a well-to-do area.
Uniondale, yes.
Uniondale, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you tired of niggers, Sam?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Are you tired of niggers, Sam? I know where you live, Sam. In a well-to-do area. Are you tired of niggers?
Is that definitely not definitely? I start trying to get me in trouble, man.
Do you live out there near WBAU, Adelphi University?
No. I'm closer to Nassau and Hofstra.
Okay.
That's me. I went to Hofstra.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're tired of niggers. Come on, keep it real. Come on. How much you pay a year in taxes? 15?
About 10.
10?
Yeah.
10, 11, almost 11.
That's the price.
Mm-hmm.
That's the price. I agree.
Stay there, guys. Mo Facts, back to you, sir. Black fatigue and how it affects other communities, please.
What the point I'm trying to make is what the effect on other community is. If white or nothing, they even letting the kosher folks over there get out of hand.
Come on.
So they can put the belt to ass to them. See, they about to take a fall. They are about to take a big L. this whole genocide thing going on over there in Gaza and everything else, they gonna put all of that on them, and they gonna put belt to ass. I'm telling you, the white man is. I'm gonna say this. We're gonna upset a lot of people. Nearly Fuller said it. You know, I subscribe to a lot of Nearly Fuller's teaching. The white supremacist is the smartest man on this earth. Period. Full stop. And he's been planning this. He said, I got the Hispanics right where I want them. I got the niggas right where I want them. And these crazy niggas think that they can be conservative and the white people gonna let them in. No, you see in these little groups, some of these podcasts be talking on the conservative talking points, and they say, no, you got to go too. we don't want any color, and they really gonna tighten up on the Italians and the Irish too. I'm telling you, it's gonna go back to Nordic, Anglo-Saxon white, because they don't need the numbers anymore. It was a numbers game. We'll let this trash, and this is not my word, this is how they looked at them. This in the 1920s, 1930s, when they were doing eugenics on them. We'll let this trash in our race to get numbers to do what we got to do, but now it's cleanup time.
Yeah. White genetic survival. So it's what's coming down the pipe. Mo, great to talk to you, man. You're not a basketball fan, right? You don't care about the Knicks?
No, I don't watch it. I haven't watched it since they did that transgender stuff in Charlotte that year. I kind of fell back from there.
You ain't missing nothing. Great.
I ain't missing nothing.
Great to talk.
I always start, like I always say, I got my start here. Star, thank you. Always give me a platform, sir. I got nothing but the highest respect for you.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. Okay.
All right.
Well, facts tapping in. Okay. Sam, let's go back to you, man. I want you to promote your platform, land your plane. You're posting new content tomorrow morning. You said, send me a link, man, so I can post it in my community
Most
section.
definitely will.
What's going on with the Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves are getting smoked, just like the Knicks. You know, the Timberwolves, they run a 10 to 12 man rotation, and they're basically eliminating Julius Randle and Ant-Man, who had only 15 points in a must win, and didn't take any accountability, which was sad and disappointing as a superstar in this league, that he didn't say he could have done more. He felt that giving the team 15 points was all right, and they're gonna be going to Cancun starting tomorrow too.
Can I ask you a crazy question? Sam, I analyze on YouTube. Is there a chance that LeBron James next season can come to the Knicks?
You know, I thought LeBron James or KD possibly would consider it, but as of today, no.
King James.
No, he's opting in supposedly to his Laker deal. So no.
Not that I'm a LeBron fan, but if he came to the Knicks, I'm sure that they would pay for a championship. They would pay for it.
Yeah. But Giannis to the Knicks, that's definitely possible, I think.
Good trade right there. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Was there ever any real talk about LeBron coming to play with Carmelo Anthony, or was that just a myth back in the days?
Carmelo had an opportunity. Carmelo was supposed to be the third guy going to Miami.
I know that, but I'm focused.
Yeah, but
on
no. I think certain players just didn't want the Garden, so I don't see it. I didn't see it, and I don't see LeBron.
Yeah, we have started Coach Show. We haven't really laid that out. Why don't certain players want to come play in New York? Is it too much of it being the number one market? Too many distractions?
Well, you saw Julius Randle as of yesterday. He was talking about, he finally opened up about the pressures of playing in New York. Everything is magnified. Everything is over scrutinized. So I think LeBron is a smart guy, and he saw that. He saw it wasn't for him. And I think the guys, and that's why he would never come here. And that's fine. Those who want to be here, the Brunsons of the world, they'll be here. But I don't think the Knicks need LeBron at this point. Let him ride off into the sunset with the Lakers.
One last question. Is it the Knicks ideology, whatever that is preventing them from getting a championship? Is there some type of, what is it, James Dolan? Is that his name?
James Dolan. I think
There's
the
some
Knicks are past.
ideology that just doesn't work. It hasn't worked over the decades. What is it?
You know what? I think the Knicks are close. I think attacking James Dolan. I think that's past. I think this Knicks team, with Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson at the helm, whether it's going to be with Karl Anthony Towns or whoever, whatever cast, I think he's going to be the guy to bring the Knicks a championship in the next 5 years. I really truly believe it.
Sam, we don't have 5 years. Sam, great to talk to you, man. We don't have we want a goddamn championship now. Guys, that's Sam from Sam I Analyze on YouTube. New video coming tomorrow morning. Yes?
Yes, sir. 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay. Good to talk to you, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Okay. It's a good man right there, but he said in 5 years. Come on.
The Knicks are pathetic, man. It's pathetic, man. It's too much.
It's
too much old head. It's too much old head corny energy up there. You know, you got Tracy Morgan throwing up sideline.
You got time to hang out?
Yeah.
Check him report. Okay, they're killing you in the live chat about your volume. Your volume keeps going in and out.
I don't know. My mixer keeps going down. I don't know what it is.
Area code 984. Good evening. Are you there? Thank you for your patience. 984. 012. If not, I have to go to area code 817. 817. Are you there?
Yes. Good morning. I'm here.
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
I'm great. Long time listener, second time caller.
Okay.
Fun fact: Black fatigue was originally started from Black people being tired of white people.
Yes.
They co-opted it, and now they're making it theirs.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about the book by Mary Frances Winters in 2020?
No, sir. I'm not.
Okay.
Just the recent conversation online.
Well, yeah, I mean, based upon my research, I don't mean to cut you short. She put out a book in September the 15th, 2020, Mary Frances Winters, called Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit. So yes, it meant something totally different. And you're right, they did co-opt it, but that's where it came from, as far as I know.
Correct. And as far as what has been recoined to me today and how it affects other people, I believe it's a symptom. And the earlier caller you had was actually everybody had great points.
Okay.
But the earlier caller you had with Dr. Neely Fuller, when he said, if you don't understand white supremacy, everything else you see will confuse you.
Right.
This is an overarching symptoms of white supremacy.
Right.
And I believe I don't want to offend people or scare people or
come on.
I believe the only way to get rid of our oppressor is to meet them wherever they are.
Uh-oh.
We're not willing to go to their level. We try to march. We can't beat them economically. We can't beat them spiritually. If we're not willing to get this person's foot off our neck, it's going to continue to be on our neck, because that's what we're experiencing. We are a stressed out group of people who have no way else out but to take it out on each other. And that's what we're seeing. And like the other people
Can I jump in?
claim to be. Yes, sir.
Can I jump in? The Coons will not allow that to happen. You said meet them where they are. Can you be a little bit more specific?
Oh, absolutely. If we're not willing to fight for our freedom, we'll never get it. I mean, when I say fight, I mean physically, hand-to-hand combat. If we're not willing to go to the
niggas ain't trying to bleed, sir. Niggas are trying to get a brand new
bag,
brand new BMWs, diamonds,
and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm not saying that's not. And what I'm saying is, as long as we accept that to be true, then we can't complain about anything else. So let's just accept our fate.
Bitches trying to get Birkin bags. What else? Check and report. Red bottoms.
I mean, exactly. If we're not all one, if every finger is not curled up into a fist, what can we do?
I think you muted yourself. Check and report. What's going on? I didn't mute you.
Hello, am I still here? Did I mute myself?
No. A check-in report. Did you mute yourself? Check-in report. I'm gonna try and unmute your mic, but something's going on with him. I'm sorry. So good. So you were saying, all right. So now the term. I don't like the term. Black
Got it.
Okay. I don't like the fact that once again, black people are allowing themselves to be categorized. You know, I mean, I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen it throughout the music industry. Back when they had the black record charts, they used to call it black, literally. And then it went.
I mean, if you
dance, R&B. So I don't like that whole category thing. Go ahead.
But it's been like that since history. We've never been allowed to name ourselves. We've always been called what somebody else calls it. We don't even have a name. Yeah. We don't share any group identity other than slavery, which is that it traumatized our minds, which is why foreigners, other black foreigners don't even want to identify as black. But like a previous caller said, once white supremacy lays down its end game, everybody with melanin is gone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's not that it's funny, it's just that people think, well, if I don't identify with FBA, or if I don't identify with the ghetto black people, then I'm safe. No, you're not. You're just useful until you're not. And like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, it's a fear of genetic annihilation. We either have to love ourselves and fight, because otherwise we'll just only be allowed to be it'll be a sifting process. They'll allow a few to sift through, and the rest of us are cannon fodder.
Can you hang on whilst I bring in another caller?
Absolutely, I'm here.
You're saying some good things. So let me bring in area code 984. You there? Good evening. Good morning, wherever you may be. 984. Yes, no, maybe. 984. You ready? If not, I have to go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. 984. You have the floor. Okay. He's smoking Sherm stick. I gotta get him out of here. It's okay. I ain't mad at you, but just area code 917. Are you there? Good evening. Oh, good morning. 917. Yes, no, maybe. Please don't kill the vibe. Turn it down in the background. We gotta let you go. 917.
Yes, no, baby.
Good morning, Star.
Yes, sir. Can you turn that shit down, sir? Turn the shit down.
Yes.
You're killing the vibe, sir. I'm sitting here sipping a little wine.
The vibe is.
How are you, sir? It's cracking.
The vibe is back.
What do you want to start, sir?
I just wanted to say, you talking about that book in 2020 by that lady?
Yes, sir.
Black fatigue started during slavery.
Okay. Come on.
I agree.
It was field niggas that couldn't stand house niggas.
Okay.
And we dealing with the same thing today. Everything goes full circle. And Star, if I may, what do you think Ayn Rand would think about the topic Black fatigue?
Well, her name was Ayn, not Ayn.
Ayn Rand, yes.
Well,
yes,
sir. Well, sir, I mean, I am an objectivist, but I'm not a parrot for her. So she's gone, sir. She's taking a dirt nap. So never mind her. But let's get to where we are right now in 2025. I'm guilty. I have to admit, I'm guilty at times of saying, certain things that are not necessarily encouraging. I lock my doors when I'm around middle school black. Not even teenagers, middle school black kids. I make sure the door's locked. I'm gripping up on 13-year-olds. I'm guilty.
I'm old enough to remember, and may your your house be gated from common ghetto trash.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty, sir. But at the same time, never mind me. I got one foot in the grave. How real is it now, though? Black fatigue. I don't like the term. I don't like it.
Well, anything by any other name, would it be different?
Okay, come on.
Would it be different? It's the same circumstances with the same people. Everybody could sit there talking about what black people should do, they're not gonna do it.
Okay.
They're not gonna do it. What everybody has to do as an individual is get themselves together. Because everybody moving as one, that'll never happen.
No. Well, we don't expect that, but 817, do you want to chime in? You had some good points. 917.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'll piggyback on that. Just like you were saying, you know, everybody's got to do their own thing, and that's because for several reasons. Nothing that
917, you have to fix the echo, please. 917, fix the echo in the background. I'm sorry. So you were saying, go ahead.
That's cool. Yeah, because anything that goes to the grassroots nature of helping black people exclusively gets quashed. And I don't just mean slowly. I'm talking about quickly and brutally. Any person that tries to stand up for black rights gets publicly executed.
Okay.
And it makes us focus on survival. Keep my head down, focus on me and my family. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Because you got to live. You got to live. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. So it makes it easier for us to look for other solutions. Well, let's try this way. Let's try that way. Because nobody's ever been given their freedom by appealing to the humanity of their oppressor.
Good point.
If you ain't willing to fight for it, you're not going to get it.
Good point.
So we'll take what we can, like Dr. Neely fully said, in the compensatory code. We'll just settle for what we can. We'll settle for rims, women, money, drugs, but we won't go. You know what I'm saying? We'll fight each other, and we won't go after the bully that's keeping us in this cage.
Is he still?
And like you were saying, you know,
is he still alive?
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you brother. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Well, listen. Stay right there. I'm gonna let 917. Can you land your plane? So I'm getting a little backed up on calls here. 917, please.
Well, I understand all the topics that everyone has, but it's all internal with us as individuals. You have to get yourself straight first before you can do anything for a community. And the thing that's so sad about that is once you get your thing together and you try to help others, you end up, they pulling you down. They want this, they want that, and they pulling you down with them like crabs in a barrel. And I'm just sorry. That's just my perspective of it. And that's it.
I appreciate the call. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Check-in report. Can you check the screen? Is everything spelled right? YouTube.com/@the check-in report.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
817. Go ahead and land your plane, sir. And Boris, I think
yes.
in the queue. Boris, hang on. I see you in the queue. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Just to piggyback off of what the last caller just said, is that we pull each other down like crabs in a barrel, which is true. But we got to remember, a bucket is not a crab's natural habitat. We are not in our natural element, so therefore we are reacting unnaturally to unnaturally impose external stresses. And I'll land my plane with that. Thank you.
Well, hang on now. Since you went there, how can we blame the black woman? How can we blame her?
Okay. Well, thank you. I don't want to say blame.
Oh, no, sir. I'm saying how can we blame them? Because listen, I mean, I wake up in the morning. I don't watch CNN, Fox News, MSNBC like I used to. I go to the bullshit, the Grand Report, and I see black women arguing with the police. They won't get out the car, defiant. It's a totally new type of black female. They're nothing like black women from 50 years ago, 60 years ago,
I agree.
40. Totally different. Are they hybrids? What's going on?
They've evolved to fill the void that the black man has vacated. We can't protect them. They, you know what I'm saying? Because even back in colonization during slavery, they used to rape her in front of us It's like, look, your man can't do nothing for you. I'm your daddy. And it's still the same way. We're not, we can't protect them. We can't protect ourselves. They kill us with impunity. We can't do nothing. We walk into work with our heads down. Yes, boss. Yes, sir. No, sir. You know what I'm saying? We can't protect ourselves. So
with all due respect, I think a lot of them gave up the pussy willingly. I hate to take the show in that type of direction, but a lot of them told the black man, "You stay here. I'm going to handle some business. I'll be right back."
Because that's survival.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That was how she learned to survive, because we wouldn't kill for her. And I know it sounds simpish, but at a certain point, the king, you know what I'm saying? If the king is not willing to swing his sword, he's not really a king.
I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. One last call, because I'm getting silly now, sipping on the goddamn water. Got Mammy coming from the big house.
I agree with that
you
point.
Stay over there and hush. I'll be right back. I'm gonna bring you a pig foot and a bottle of beer. Close your mouth. Boris, you're my last caller. Is that you? Area code 440. Boris.
Доброй ночи, старик. Как дела?
How are you, man? What's cracking? Hey, Boris, don't they have the Russians have mobile incinerators in the Ukraine right now? Mobile incinerators.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got that from the small hat, you know. They got that technology from your partners in the Middle East. I wanted to, with your permission, of course, I wanted to touch on the shambolic Knicks, if I may.
Please, go ahead.
Sorry. I think that the problem with the Knicks is that LeBron is not a cure.
Oh, no, he's not. I was joking about LeBron.
No, I know. The last time an NBA first team member was from the Knicks, do you know when that was? That was in 1990 with Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
I say this to say that it is, if you look back in the years, throughout the years, every single player on the first team either made it to the the conference finals or the NBA finals.
Okay.
You have Jason Tatum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron James. At best, we have, what's his name, Brunson. He is All-NBA second team. He is not what we need. Yes, he is good, but he is not our answer.
He's old. LeBron is old, but listen, Boris, I don't mean to cut you short. I am a Knick hater, objective hater, but I don't see the chemistry, and I just started watching during the playoffs.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if they can turn it around. I don't see the chemistry. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
He said that yesterday that the Knicks play hero ball. They do not have set plays.
Right.
Indiana play like a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
You know, they will be. I think if they will be lucky, they will get wiped out in 6 games. I hope I'm wrong, but I do not think that.
I think it's over tomorrow. Thursday. I think it's over tomorrow.
Yes, Kyle Anthony Towns suffered what looks to be knee contusion because he was bumping knee to knee. Yes, with the other Pacers player because he was pushed to him. And OG Anunoby was also a little bit hobbled. Now, also, I wanted to talk about it really quickly about LeBron James. Star, I do not know if you know, he was very close to joining the Knicks in 2010 during the decision, if you remember.
What happened?
What happened was Knicks were being Knicks. They were Knicksing. They had a poorly executed meeting in which they brought 2 actors from The Sopranos. LeBron saw it as a joke, and he decided to link up with Dwayne Wade in Miami. Their second option was Chicago, but Chicago did not have the cap space for them. And as a matter of fact, they have been plotting this in the Olympic team in 2008, aka the Regime team. They all wanted to become free agent in the same summer. But yes, he was going to come to the Knicks. He was unimpressed by the presentation. He was more impressed with Pat Riley and co. And now, even now, he will not come to New York because his wife is very comfortable with the weather in California and
he's
the
way
lifestyle.
too old now. But listen, Boris, I'm going to shut this down. Predictions for Thursday: Madison Square Garden, Pacers versus the Knicks. Please, Boris.
I will say this: if Karl Anthony Towns is somewhat healthy, they will win Game 5, and they will be wiped away in 6 games. If he is hobbled, they're going to be swept in a gentleman sweep and out of here in 5 games.
And any thoughts, Boris? There's a new term on the internet, TikTok and X. It's called black fatigue. Any thoughts?
I think that humans in general are just tired of humans. Whether it's black people tired of white people, other way around. People do not want to. If you come to, you take the subway in New York. I remember one time I was in the subway. I was looking directly at somebody because I was tired. He was grilling me for staring through him. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And I was just spaced out. Welcome to New York. Everybody hates you.
Boris, good to talk to you, man. Salute.
Have a good night, sir.
Okay, all right. Check-in report. Thank you for being my co-host tonight, man. Guys, make sure you check out the check-in report on YouTube. Final thoughts on black fatigue and how it affects other communities, please.
I mean, I think black fatigue, it's a fantasy. It's nonsense. I don't agree with it. It totally lacks accountability from the people that are imposing or that are saying that they are feeling this. It totally lacks accountability of what they've done, and it totally lacks any type of empathy for parties involved.
Your volume went out.
I just think black fatigue. I just think it's nonsense, and it totally lacks empathy, and it totally lacks any type of substance, in my opinion.
But now, hang on a second, because you see, white people do organize and mobilize. Do you think that they may, at some point, maybe some small pockets in America, put forth some policies to deal with black fatigue? Because if things continue, and I'm just thinking out loud, smash and grabs, dining and dashing,
right?
I think that shit continues, man. Somebody's got to do something,
I mean, I think white people have put things in place. I mean, since the Jim Crow South, white people have been putting things in place since redlining. White people have been putting things in place. I mean, this has been going on forever, in my opinion. So, I mean, it'll be more of the same.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great to talk to you, man. Thank you.
Salute. Thank you, sir.